Nuri gave me two sentences. He said, talk about money and then talk about budget. So the first one, you talk about money. Normally they give you a list of things that you should touch on. Well, I'm here because the both sessions will talk about how you get yours. That's why you're here. You're not here because you feel good. You're not here for nothing else, but you want yours. And you should get yours. But getting yours is really up to you. Give you an example. Brother Bert Simon, known as Nuri Muhammad, transformed in name, transformed in life. He saw things differently and he was committed for his entire life to be different. And today, you have to commit to be different. You can't expect something different if you're doing the same thing over and over. That's the definition of madness. Well, sometimes, strangely enough, we don't really know what we need to do. Clarity, COVID brought clarity. And in order for you to move ahead, you need clarity of vision. You have to see clearly in your mind. If you're building a house, you have to know what the foundation is, what the columns are, how you're going to build the wall, what the roof will be, how you're going to be before it's done. In fact, in Belize, they had a bad style that when you go around the street, you have a lot of houses that are not finished. And the reason they're not finished is because people weren't clear as how they're going to finish the house. They run out of money. You can't figure out you do something and you're not got enough resources to complete it. So planning is a big part of it. But today I wanted to start with a simpler thing. In your mind today, you've got to use what you have. Nobody can give you nothing extra. It's all here. Your world is between your two ears. In fact, your focus is your reality. Everything could go on, a hurricane, COVID, whatever it is. You have to understand the focus. A lot of things could be happening around you, but you got to focus on you. We get into the money, but the money starts with you. What is you? You have to plan, you have to organize yourself. Right? You have to have discipline. Discipline. Just like the exercises. You do your routine, right? You go through it, right? You figure out what will be the best exercise, what will be the better form. You knock it in. All right. You're building strength. You're building resilience. You're building an ability to focus your mind on a goal. You're working towards a goal. It's easy to do the physical part of it. It's harder to do the mental part of it because you get distracted. So focus should be a big part of your life. Focus is the beginning of money. Money is the end result. A lot of times people figure you could be intelligent, you could go to school, but really discipline, commitment, self-control is a better indicator of achievement than a degree. Self-control is a better indicator of leadership than charisma. If you can't control yourself, you can't control others. You have to understand, this is the seed of money. How you spend your money, how you budget your resources. You have to have a focus on your goal. You have to have discipline to maintain your movement towards that goal. The more clarity you have of your vision, the easier it is for you to achieve it because you can break it down into pieces and know what pieces you need to achieve each and every other day. It's not difficult, it's not complicated, it's just you. Look into that mirror, it is you. You need to take control of your life. You have two choices in life when you get up in the morning. You either be an owner or you be a victim. And the victim role, very simple. Why me? It happened to me. Everybody had a chance me. Nobody give me a break. The victim always look outside as an excuse to manipulate the environment. That's a cop out, that's an easy way out. Owner, What is an owner? It takes responsibility. Look, the my life, if I screw up, it's because of me. Not because of my brother, my auntie, because of my neighborhood. No, it's because of me. So if you want to have, you have to be an owner. You have to have an owner mentality. I want to own this. This is mine. This is for me. I get mine. Because you realize you might get it, but you have to fight for keeping it. You know that simple. The richer you get, the more hard they have to fight for hold on to it. So that they should have money, they should have hair. If you notice, we got something called a frontal lobe, a pig in a humans. If you look at that, he got a long nose, or at least frontal lobe. The dog, the primitive, hungry, go out there and eat. We have the ability to choose. We have the ability to will and to want and to figure it out. Right? That's why we forward bigger than the nose. The dog goes longer. Even the biology of man allows you the potential to become superior. The same place that Henry put together. I was here when I saw boxes with Cameron and Bakers. Some serious boxes. I mean, blood, the fly, man, the teeth, the knuckle, by the side, blood spatter. Those two guys train, they enter the ring with the ability to win. And they give all. And in life, you have to decide you want to give all if you want to win.
I can't talk about money, and I can't talk about the balance sheet and the financials and the budget until you understand that ownership, responsibility, self-control, and commitment are the root or the seeds of what will make you rich. For example, the speaker was talking about a tour guide. Let's say you guys get a chance to work on the island. You make money. And you start seeing all these trucks moving dirt or bringing dirt. Right? And you might say, well, why, you know what? I think I need a truck so I can make only cheese. Now you only got a little bit of money, right? But that's not what we're making. That's what we keep. Because some rich guys make a lot of money and they blow it all off quick. They have some rich ones where not just blow off the money when they make, but they spend more than even what they earn. So they need a debt. The happiest man is the man who don't owe. Because you don't got nobody knock on your door, nobody to call you, nobody to harass you for money. So you have to understand the psychology of money. You have to understand where you want to be. And you want to be the owner and you don't want to be the victim. You want to have control and you don't want somebody else to control you.
But look at your 5 fingers. 1. You have to have character. You must stand up. You look, see how straight the tongue stand up? In this life, you have to have character. You can't give in and become weak. You can't let them get to you. You can't let them cut you at the knees. You have to be strong. And you're not strong just for yourself. You're strong for your children, for your brother, your sister, your mama, and your papa. You're strong for your family. You're strong for your community. You have to be strong. And strength comes from character. 2, you must be focused. You see upon the hand point, you have to know where you're going. Keep your focus. Don't lose focus. You lose focus, then I punch you out. 3, I'm not saying the finger. The finger is number 1. You need to be number 1 at what you do. You need to be excellent at what you do. It doesn't matter what you do. You need to be number 1. Do it better, faster, smarter, with less resources. Do it quickly. And 4, this is a difficult finger to hold up because the relationships. It's talking about your wife that you depend on. It's talking about your dad, your brother, your sister, your friend. This is the ring finger. It's hard to bring it up because I'm complicating things. Right? It's about relationships. For example, there are millions of business owners. Millions. But 80% of business, small businesses, are single person employment, are just people who are self-employing themselves. What does that mean? They're alone, whether they're a doctor, an attorney, whatever the business they have, a dentist, they are alone. You have to understand that if you want to win, you have to build a team, you have to have relationships. You can't do it alone. For example, put one man to play against 5 men and see who wins. LeBron scored all the points, but your team still lose. Why? One man can't win the game. He's great, but it's teamwork. So when you guys decide to do anything, pick 5 of your friends. You're the average of what you are is the average of your 5 friends closest to you. Because you hear them, you listen to them, you share with them, they rent space in your head. So you have to understand that's why it is good to read, because that person that is giving you advice when you read is like your friend. You have to find friends that will improve you and improve your performance and not bring you down and distract and take away from you. So the relationship ring, it's hard to bring up the finger if you can't bring up the next one. It's important, so you have to think that way. The last pinky finger is a finger that some people refer to the difference finger, the thing that makes you different, the pinky finger. What does that do? For example, Federal Express say, I'll get your package there by 10 o'clock in the morning. Domino's said, look, if I don't bring you my pizza in 30 minutes, it's for you free. So guess what? The pinky finger is what makes you different, what makes your service, what makes you different from the other guy. And all of us want to be different. I spent a lot of time studying religion, theology. I was an assistant to a PhD who was doing theology at Loyola University. I spent many of my years thinking about the existence of God and why he doesn't exist and why he exists. And essentially I came down to 3 main principles. One is man is motivated by self-interest, not selfishness, self-interest. If you don't believe it, fine, but you rule your life. 2, he always needs feedback. He needs some kind of way to realize that he is alive. If you watch autistic kids, they go into a repetitive thing, like they clip their hand, they bang their head. Kids who are highly intelligent, but because of their need for feedback, they actually go into physical motion. So there's something wired in us that makes us, in fact, why is Facebook so hot? Why are you always texting? You suck that phone like you're doing a bobby. Because of feedback, you get constant feedback. You realize you exist because somebody pay attention and give you feedback. You need to figure out how to build that circuitry so that feedback become positive and encourage you to move on and keep your focus and deliver your goods, deliver your goal. The last principle is a principle that men want to live forever. Whether, as Brother Nuri said, the seed you plant. It's always good to have about 4 kids so that your culture and your seed continue. You have a chance. There's a reason why people say, I prefer to save my cousin, give my life to save my cousin, because your seed continues. And unfortunately, everybody here is men, but it affects you more than anybody else. Who is the person, who is the group that's most dying in beliefs? Young black man. You can't get wrong from that. So it is more important that you understand that you need to live forever, you need to pass on your seed, you need to grow. How you can do that? You can't do it if you're weak. If you're financially weak, you cannot do it. You got to put yourself in a position where you have financial strength. But as I've just spent some time sharing with you, the financial strength comes from focus, from planning, from how you assess you, who you are, what you want to be, what commitment you have. It's about self-control. The guy who got self-control, Bruce Lee, tough guy, whoever it is. The guy who got self-control and win. Look at how big the guy, look at how tall the guy. Bruce Lee bring them down. Look at how strong. because he had mastery over self. And that is what money is about. It's about mastery over self. So I chose to talk about this today because I think it's important. It's important. I can tell you things like, okay, you got 3 sources of income. Ordinary income, you make money and the tax man come and take the half of it. Portfolio income, you invest in stocks and bonds, but guess what? Somebody make a commission, you don't pay as much taxes, you make more money than the ordinary income guy, but guess what? You still not make enough. And the last one, tax-free income, passive income, where you invest in a real estate, they pay rent, you collect that, you don't pay as much tax, hardly any tax. I am very fortunate. I grew up around Majestic Alley, Daly Street, right road for Majestic Alley. I used to come to Bird's Eye from when I was young because Henry Oak Jr. was in my class. So I know about Southside. My first wife was a high. She lived on Racecourse Street. At that time, you could ride a bike and nobody killed you, nobody take your bike, nobody shoot you. Different world, different beliefs. Today they're on different world. I love Belize. I lived abroad for many years. I decided to come back because I wanted to make a difference. And when I drove down from New York through the States. Of course, I get ticket to Georgia because if you're not white, you get ticket quick. And if you're not paid, you go to jail right then and there. Right? Unfortunately, I was doing like 198 miles an hour on the flatbed, and I get about 3 or 4 tickets, so I had to pay $4.50 in a 1990 or not about a jail. So I had to cough it up. So I drove through Mexico, came to Belize, took a while, stopped. And the first thing I noticed on the Chetumal side were car dealerships, development. I crossed over on the Belize side and I saw bush, nothing, rough road. That inspired me to create the commercial free zone that we have at the border of Mexico. I wrote the law, got the idea, lobbied government, got a lot of players involved, and they told me I was crazy. At the peak, the free zone was pulling almost 4 million visitors, and the country refused to acknowledge that they had that long lines of Mexicans 4 miles long. The Mexicans realized it and they put up a mall. That idea came out of my head. I wrote it and I convinced people that it was good. I convinced the PUP. They lose the friggin' elections and then I had to spend a whole year to convince the UDP for it. Manuel Esquivel, after 1 year, decided to let me go. We do it under Dean Barrow ministry, but it was really Manuel Esquivel who encouraged it. And it wouldn't have happened under any other person because Manuel Esquivel understood open market. He understood international trade. I went to Georgetown University because the IDB paid so that I could study international investments. I met Bill Clinton many times. And I've had an incredible history. I met Omar Torrijos, who fought for independence from Panama on the beach. I met a lot of people because I did what that young man did. Ask questions. Hey, may I answer? Could I have an answer? I am curious. Story is long, but the fact is, commercial free zone is there, right? They haven't managed it well. It gave about 3,000 employment. Now the bank, I started the bank and they took it away from me. And who ended up with it? Beli Musa, Babu Chandali, and Amir Ergar, usual suspects. Now, I have the airport international free zone, about 130 acres around the airport, prime property. And the borough couldn't do nothing because he put BDF soldier on the property. So 12 years of my life gone, the weight. Why never just the weight? I was in pen, they exercised my mind. Because this thing I bust loose, I bust loose in less than 60 days. Well, terminal where people walk off of the plane in an air condition and walk up into Belize. Hotel, we have those things. We have those. Why we don't have it? Because just like Mike Finstein, he dares to dream. Mike take risk. You know, come free, you know, come cheap. That is what you have to understand. Your life is already at risk. If you do nothing, the man will come collect fire. You sit down there and cast you. Cast your light, cast your water, cast your something. Somebody harass you. You can't just sit down. You got to keep moving. I am sharing this with you because I want you to appreciate that money is about self-control, about being focused, about being organized. You have bad habits, you have good habits. You have two dogs. The one will get fat and stronger, the one you feed. If you feed the bad habits, that one will grow up and bite you. Whether you become a crack addict, whether you become a loser, whatever it is, your bad relationship, you lose when you feed the bad habit. You win when you feed the good habit. So take the good one to replace the bad one. Take your time, there's no rush, you're young. When you're young, do it one at a time. Take one bad habit, you move it well, and take one good habit, you put it in a place. That is the beginning of financial freedom. Self-control over you, your vision.
The thing is that why they have so much red tape, somebody will just start a business, and if they got somewhere, people will go, could give you advice, so that you could be aware of some of the stuff where you have the challenges you have to face in the future when establishing a business, because I enjoy it. Thanks.
Alright, basically he's asking how you can remove some of the stumbling blocks, the barriers that allow you not to enter. What is unfortunate is the big guys go to government, hand some money and check, and then don't pay no tax, then get all the breaks. The small guy is different. They go there and tell you why you can't go to that spot, you have to move outside. When you start, you can't because you need a health certificate. When you go across there, you can't do because you need inspection. You can't build upstairs because you need to go to building society, then you need a plan. Then you need to pay one fee. Then you need to go and sit down and give the city council one coke or one chicken or something, or promise them a vote for or something. Right? I understand that, right? But yes, the city council can help you in that. Business Bureau can help you in that. The Chamber of Commerce can help you in that. But what is amazing today is the internet has so much information. All right, for example, you say, okay, restrictions on a business in Belize City, you keep that in. You read something. All right. First of all, I would suggest something, right? When you're planning a business, there are 3 phases in planning. One is a feasibility study, another is a marketing study, and the third one is a business plan. Most people jump into the business plan. No, you have to figure out what makes this business feasible. If the product can be done properly, and if the business as a business model works. And then with that you start to figure out all the technical aspects, with that all the regulations, where we want to stop you how much it costs, whether the permit fee, whether the tax, whether they don't sell it to who and it. Because in some cases you can make money and forget to pay, and if you don't pay a tax then you're in jail. That's how a lot of the politicians end up in jail, because they make a lot of money and they never declare it, and 2-3 years from now when they start to investigate, then they realize, hey, I make this money but I never pay tax, so you're going to jail. So you understand why the feasibility study is necessary, so you can identify all those areas before you move into the marketing. The marketing now what? How I could get people eyeballs to focus on me, on my product. How I could sell something. And that carry a whole thing, Facebook, whatever it is, marketing, different channels, a whole list of things. After you don't figure out the feasibility and the marketing, then you do the business plan in terms of how much money you need, how you're going about doing it, and how you manage your business.